Well, the Urban Yoga Foundation is a nonprofit organization that educates and empowers communities to be proactive about issues that are affecting their health. And we use the practice of yoga and related holistic approaches. So, Urban Yoga Foundation programs help individuals help manage stress, help develop mind-body awareness, as well as health consciousness. And we've been doing that for about 20 years. The organization started in started in New York City by this incredible yoga instructor. Her name is Gillian Bell. She started the practice as a means to connect with her daughter, and she's just one of the most incredible teachers, very well known in the Northeast as an innovator. She's been doing it for 20 years, and I got connected with the organization some 10 years ago, and here we are, blessed to be in St. Petersburg, Florida, because I am finished with cold weather. And we're doing we're making some strides and doing some good things in the St. Petersburg, Pinellas County area. We're in 5 schools here in St. Petersburg area. We work with ACT, the Arts Conservatory for Teens. We do some work with the city. And we're going to be doing a pilot program this year with John Hopkins Middle School for the Pinellas County School Board. So we're coming along very slowly, organically growing, do a lot of work in different underserved communities. We have free yoga classes, community yoga at the Enoch Davis Center. We're over at the Jet Jackson Center, and we're also over at the Willis S. John Center in St. Petersburg as well.
Excellent. So 10 years ago you got involved, and why did you get into this line of work?
Wow, that's a heck of a story. Before I got involved in health and holistic issues, I spent a 36-year career in the broadcasting industry. My last job in broadcasting 10 years ago, I was the director of operations at CNN in New York. So after 36 years in broadcasting, I had hired 2 of my kids into the industry. My daughter's working. She's a showrunner at Bloomberg News. My son's a photographer for Netflix. After 36 years in the business, I decided, it was time for me to take another direction. I mean, I'm hiring my kids into the industry. I had been doing this for 36 years. I had a great, meaningful career. Started out as a photographer back in the days when they still shot film. And I just realized it was time for me to take my career and move on. And one of the things that I realized in life is that, no matter what you do, as long as you're working for somebody else, you're basically working for somebody else. And I loved my job. I never had a bad day at work. Always, there were always challenges. There was things that I didn't love about work, but every day was different. It was always a different experience. So I really loved what I did. But I realized it was time for me to manage my way out of broadcasting and to get involved in something that I really wanted to do and that I loved. And I was introduced to the practice of yoga. It really made a profound change in my life. After being involved in yoga and doing yoga with some friends of mine, I really saw some changes in my life and in my development. And I decided this is what I wanted to do. So I was able to manage my way out of a 36-year career in broadcasting, and spent a couple of months in India studying the practice of yoga, living on an ashram, and here I am now, a full-time yogi working with the Urban Yoga Foundation.
Fantastic. So, Clayton, what is your favorite part of your work?
My favorite part of my work is basically bringing mindfulness to the next generation, to young people. I love St. Petersburg because it is such an incredibly diverse and urban community. So much good. And there's such a huge yoga community here in this city. But one of the things that I realized about the practice of yoga, we as yogis, me as an instructor, we've got to bring this practice. We've got to bring mindfulness to underserved communities, the people that that aren't getting the opportunities. Because, there are young people out here, and especially in the school system, teaching a young person mindfulness. And mindfulness is, when you become mindful, it changes everything about you. So teaching young people mindfulness is going to help grow yoga. It's going to help grow individuals. It just takes you into a whole other place. Health, holistic issues, everything comes into play. Everything changes when you become mindful. So teaching the next generation, teaching young people about mindfulness, about the practice of yoga, teaching young people how to regulate themselves, slow themselves down, how to be mindful, how to be kind. It changes everything about a person, and it changes society as well.
Well, great. Thank you. That certainly does make a huge impact in the community. So I'm going to switch it up a little bit here and ask you, why did you join Holistic Network International?
Well, I joined Holistic Network International primarily because of you. You were one of the first people I met. And once again, your whole concept, the whole idea, it was so well-grounded and it was just so well thought out. And again, this community is so open to the ideals, to the thoughts, and to the practices that the Holistic Network represents. It was just an incredible place to meet like-minded people, to be with folks that are, I consider, on the same page and are all in the same lane, trying to improve the community, improve themselves as well, but also willing to give back and to assist. And that's what I love about the Holistic Network International. We are truly a force, a family, and we're helping. We're helping ourselves. We're helping others. It's a win-win situation.
Is there any particular benefit of the network that sticks out for you?
I think the relationships. You know, one of the things that I realize in life is about relationships. And the relationships and the people that we're meeting in the Holistic Network are just such great people. And many of them are becoming friends. And it's just a good place to be. So to me, that is my favorite member benefit of the relationships that we're developing and the work that we're doing together.
Excellent. So getting back to you and your work, what would you say is a key challenge that you're facing, or that perhaps other folks doing things in your field of work would face?
Well, I think the greatest challenge is just making people aware. I think it's all about exposure. You know, I say it all the time. What we do, I never try to sell people on mindfulness or the practice of yoga. It's about exposing people to the opportunity. It's about showing people, letting them understand that this is a tool, that is something that can really impact, enhance, and change your life. So I guess the greatest challenge is just exposure, proper exposure to people. Again, I think this is a great yoga community, but you have places in St. Petersburg where you go and do yoga, and it's like if you didn't know anything about yoga, if you were a first-time yoga, you would go in there and you'd be like, oh my God, I'm never going to do that again. That's just, I can't do that. And that's not yoga. Yoga is a personal practice. And at Urban Yoga, our goal is to make certain that people understand that, look, you know, this is, I can do this. You know, I'm not going to try and get you to put your leg behind your head or any of that kind of stuff. It's all about keeping the heart strong, the body flexible, and keeping yourself mindful. So, you know, it's about exposure. So I think that greatest challenge is exposing the work properly and showing people that that you can do this, giving them that confidence, giving them that encouragement.
That is so valuable to the community, and I want to thank you for that, and also thank you for taking the time to chat with me today. Before we end our call here, is there anything else that you would like to add?
No, I don't know who this is going out to. I'm certain it's going to go out to folks in the Holistic Network. But anybody that's out there thinking about joining our organization, I highly recommend it. A diverse, great group of people. You're going to enhance your life. You're going to center your life. You're going to focus your life, and you're going to be healthier. And that's what it's about. I tell people all the time, we're living longer and healthier lives in this great country. We're blessed. And you got two choices. You can either live your life in good health or live your life in bad health. If you decide to live your life in bad health, you're going to be a burden to yourself, to the healthcare system, to your family, to everything. But if you decide to live your life in good health, you can have vibrancy throughout all your years. All of your years, you'll be beneficial to yourself. You'll be beneficial to the community. You'll be an asset. So